Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. I work here with the team at FarmVet. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about poultice, what it is, how to use it, and when to use it. Poultice is a wet clay that goes on your horse's legs, hocks, stifles, back, shoulders, anywhere where they might have sore muscles, inflammation, or strained tendons, ligaments, even injury or infection. And it's going to draw out that inflammation as the poultice dries down. It's also cooling, so it has immediate relief and long-term relief over the few hours that you leave it on. For today, we're going to be using UPTITE Poultice. UPTITE Poultice is a great poultice because it is not medicated, doesn't have any added ingredients, and it's completely show safe. So you don't have to worry about any kinds of skin irritation or anything like that on sensitive horses, and you can use it leading up to and while at shows. So in order to get the most out of your poultice, you're going to want to keep it as wet for as long as possible. Now, poultice can be used with or without wraps. You can wrap on top of it or not, but one of the best things to do if you are going to put wraps on is to apply a wet paper first. So the wet paper is going to keep your wraps clean, but also keep that poultice wet for a little bit longer, so you get even more longevity and cooling benefits out of it. So this is Spitfire's poultice paper. We sell this at FarmVet as well. We just cut off 2 strands of paper, about the size of whichever area you're about to wrap, cover it on top of the poultice, but we'll show you as we do that. And then we're gonna cover it with some Novo standing wraps. So as you can see, this horse doesn't have too much inflammation here, but she did just get home after a long show week and a tough haul. She was getting poultice throughout, and now we're gonna poultice her to make sure she recovers well after the haul. So it's pretty easy. You're just going to glove up. If you prefer, you don't have to. And we're just going to kind of mold it on there. This is very customizable treatment. You can go above the knee or stay below the knee. You can just do the backs of the tendons, the whole way around the leg. You can go around the fetlock, below the ankle. Again, completely customizable, dependent on your horse's feeds. This may or may not always be exactly how it looks. So you're just gonna wanna make sure you completely cover the skin. If you're treating an injury, you're gonna wanna go a little bit thicker because that will help the poultice stay wet longer. And again, that's gonna help you get the most out of it, the longer it stays wet. But for just the basic treatment, you're pretty much just covering so that you don't see any of the skin. And to the other side. A lot of times when I come to the other side, I'll see a spot that I missed on the inside of the leg that I just finished. So if you see that, it's a perfect time to just kind of go back over any spots that you may have left open. So that's how we have it at the end of step 1. So I have my paper sitting in just a little bit of clean water here. So kind of shake it off. And wrap it around the leg. Same thing, a little bit customizable depending on what you're doing there. You can go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, just covering the area that you want that poultice to stay wet for as long as possible. Your paper doesn't have to look pretty. It's never going to. It's gonna crinkle up a little bit. You don't have to worry about it irritating any part of their leg or interrupting any blood flow because that poultice is kind of giving it a nice cushion there. And the paper is so thin, it's not gonna be uncomfortable to the horse or anything like that. And for our final step here, I'm just gonna go in with some Novo wraps and our back standing bandages. Again, both of these are available at FarmVet. We could certainly do a whole nother video on wrapping instructions, but just remember to always apply even pressure and always wrap to the back of the leg and keep an even distances between each wrap as you go around. And there we have our finished product of poultice with wraps on top of her front legs. You can repeat the same exact process on their hind legs, go up over the hocks or not. You can also apply the poultice to their stifles, shoulders, back, pretty much anywhere that they might be sore, be carrying a little bit of inflammation or just overexertion or injury or even infection. If you are going to be using it to treat an infection, make sure you are within consulting your veterinarian and making sure that's the right thing for them. So again, today we use UPTITE Poultice. That's just a plain clay poultice with no medicated additives or anything like that. We sell multiple other options available at FarmVet. A lot of times when you see a medicated poultice, it's going to have ligament or some other similar properties mixed in with it that will provide extra cooling benefits and immediate relief for their muscles as well. But you'll always want to make sure and check that it is within your show regulations before using a medicated poultice. So we will leave these wraps on Beth overnight, and then these will come off in the morning. The poultice will be mostly dry by then. If it is dry, you can take a curry comb lightly to scrape it off and then rinse their legs. Otherwise, you just straight go at it with a cold hose and just rinse it completely off before you go ride or anything like that.